Hey y'all, we are back and we have another grant. This grant is easy. I know I say this about a lot of them, but this one is something you can do before you get ready to go out and celebrate the new year. You could submit this application and potentially get up to $2,500. So if you get anything of value, beginning, middle, end, like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. As always, I'm going to quickly share the Discord because I've received several emails saying, hey, I went to your channel and I saw some of the grant videos. Are there other grants out there? Do you have a grant list? All of the grants that I do not take the time to do a full walkthrough video for is located inside of the Discord, which is connected to the Patreon. So I am going to quickly share my screen and go through this just so you can see what's in there before you subscribe to it, and you can cancel at any time. So I like this because you can categorize everything. So we have here in the general section, I just talk about, random things that are happening. Is not necessarily going to be grant related. It could be that there's a free training opportunity, or it could be like this is a program where it teaches you about doing funnels and it was like a free 3-day course or something like that. So it's going to be things that can strengthen your business, but not necessarily giving you money in your hand, but I say monetary value because of the information that is going to be provided. And then we have for-profit grants, which I've been posting grants throughout the month of December, even though, on YouTube, I do a few videos a month that are grant related. And here specifically in nonprofits, because it's much harder to do those walkthroughs because you have to get accounts and I don't have the EIN number. I don't have tax exempt status, a lot of those things that are required in order for me to apply for nonprofits. And then state specific, again, posting throughout the month of December. So if you were a member for this month, there's going to be several grants that you would have had the opportunity to apply for versus just the ones that are posted on YouTube. And then here I put the YouTube videos. And I will say, yes, there is a value that's going to be attached to joining the Patreon, which gets you here. But also what it does, it supports the channel, which allows me to continue to offer some of the videos that I'm putting out here and the grant information for free. So even if you're like, I don't know if I necessarily need the grants, if you want to support the channel, this is a way to donate because I am not going to post a Cash App. International grants for individuals that are located outside of the US. I have those in here. Sometimes it's country specific, whereas you might not be eligible if you're located inside of the US. And then accelerators, incubators, documents that you might need if you are applying for grants that require that. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to put a link to that in the chat. It'll also be in the description once the video loads. So let me do this. I try to do this as quickly as possible. And then I'll put a link to the website in there as well. Hey, Stephanie. All right, so both of those are in there. Let's talk about the grant. Also, I am going to start doing passive income. So I found a few people that are going to be guests on the channel. So if you're interested in, say, Airbnb, vending machines, travel, wholesaling, real estate investing, and if there's other buckets, what is that? Ebooks/journals. If there's other things that you might be interested in, please leave me a comment because I'll try to find somebody to be a guest and discuss how they got into it and how you could potentially get into that industry as well. And what is your New Year's resolution? I would like to know that as well. So put that in the comments because we're sitting here on New Year's Eve if you're watching me live. Now the grant. So this grant, it was difficult to find the criteria of, 18 or older and business a year or longer, etc. That's not there. So I'm going to assume 18 and up. However, if that is not the case, I always say apply. And then if you don't get the grant, you don't get the grant, but at least you tried. But I'm also going to put their email in the description as well, because there's a couple of items that I highly recommend that you email them, even if you do apply. Because how this works is they give out $500 grants every single month, but then at the end of the year, you are eligible for an additional $2,500 if you were selected for one of the $500 grants. The question that I have is, if you apply, say, in January, do you need to apply in February, March, April? It doesn't say if you apply once, and then if you're not selected, you are in some bucket each month. The one thing that I actually loved about this grant is that even if you're not selected, they give you feedback to let you know why you weren't selected and how you could potentially be selected moving forward. And I think that type of feedback is invaluable, because even if it's not for this grant, it could be for a future grant where it might be similar, which I think is going to be similar questions. This is what you win. We talked about the $500. Plus, you get a 30-minute strategy call to talk about your business and how you can grow it and whatever project that you are working on with a business strategist. And then also you get 1 year access to their program, which is called Freed Studio. So with that, you get mentorships, you get access to individuals that are similarly situated as yourself. Also, they'll have workshops. It's worth $450. So I think, me personally, that having access to mentors is more valuable than having access to the money, but that's my take on it. Also with this one, you will need to provide them with your website. Hopefully you have one. If you don't, it's okay, because with this one, it can be you're in the pre-launch phase or you're in the phase of you're operating a business. But what they do say, I know it's unrestricted funds, but the only restriction is that you use it in some capacity for your business, which there's a host of things that you can utilize the funds for. The main question that they're going to ask you, tell us about yourself, which I've said you got to have an elevator pitch, and only you can tell a grantor about you. So that's a bucket in question one. So question one has a few questions attached to it. And then, how do you believe you could contribute to the fellowship's mission? And their mission is to support underrepresented entrepreneurs. Now, with this, you don't necessarily have to say, well, I'm an underrepresented entrepreneur, and if you give me the money, that's supporting your mission. Maybe what you do in your business also supports that same community as well. And they did not define underrepresented. So that is for you to think about and define, because you can be underrepresented in a space that is not typically thought of, which really is underrepresented, right? So definitely think about that. And I've always said this in most of the videos, is that you need to make sure that you are aligned with whomever you're applying for money for, their mission, vision, values, because you don't want to apply for a grant that is not aligned with your business. Because let's say it's a shady grantor that you end up applying for, and then it's all over the news, and now you're attached to that, which can hurt your brand, and vice versa. They want to make sure that you're aligned with their mission to make sure that you do not affect their brand as well. Question one, 3 to 5 sentences. Remember, we talked about brevity and the fact that you got to get straight to the point, because they're going to have hundreds of applicants, and you need to literally have that attention grabbing sentence. And then, you go with the rest of it, but 3 to 5 sentences. That's brief. Second question, tell us about your business idea. This one, you get 8 to 10 sentences. However, there's 3, like ABC. When you're telling us about your business, here's the 3 things that they want to know. What is it? So either it's an idea or you're already operating your business. Who does it serve? And how do you do it in a unique way? One of the previous videos, I talked about the fact that, yes, there's other channels that do grant videos. However, there's not a lot of channels that's going to walk you through each question and then give you ideas. So that makes it unique. So think about it. Let's say, I think I had one about a clothing store where maybe you were catering to people that are 5'3". I'm 5'3". So Oh, and it is tragic sometimes to buy jeans because they're super long. I got to pay to get them hemmed. Maybe I got free hemming inside of the store, right? Or, you have the, big and tall stores that are catering to individuals that are taller than the average person. So something where it's different than what the industry standard is in your business. And then what are your biggest challenges and opportunities? So when you think about opportunity for growth. Think about something as a positive. So maybe you're like, my challenge for myself, I would say, is social media marketing and optimization and SEO, because I'm working with somebody to help me with that, because that's not my strong suit. And an opportunity for me would be for me to, at a minimum, get baseline knowledge of that. So then maybe some of the things I can take on myself, or I can better supervise and manage that. And with that $500, and that's going to be one of the questions too, what would you, use the money for? Maybe there's a course out there for me that I would be able to take that will then strengthen my business on the tech side of things that I don't have. So don't just think about, I'm going to buy inventory, or I don't know, I'm going to pay an employee. Think about it from the perspective of professional growth and development for yourself, which is going to be invaluable for your business as you continue to operate it as the CEO, owner of this business. Or remember, it could be a project. It doesn't necessarily have to be a business. So it could be a specific project that you have. It could be that you are, let's say you're a clothing store, and a project that you wanted to do was working with vulnerable communities doing, and then you fill in the blank, but it is not necessarily attached to getting inventory for the store. It's just, I've always wanted to give back to my community in some capacity. However, I didn't have additional resources to do that. So it does not always have to be directly connected to that business, because what that does is that puts your business name into the community as well. So that's how you can tie it back and say, that's marketing my business, but I'm actually there in the community with the potential clients, customers, etc. And then how do you get new clients and customers is one of the questions. And that's a way to get clients and customers, right? That you're actually in the community, face to face, having a conversation, letting them know about your business, versus, I guess you can pass out flyers and hope that somebody will call you. But think about it from the perspective of, if they want to assist underrepresented entrepreneurs, and then you're going into those communities as well. So I would think maybe if you're doing more networking, or if you're somebody that's good with social media marketing, you might do Facebook ads, you might do Instagram ads, you might, I don't know, share resources, or you have like an email list, and maybe you pay for marketing, or you pay for advertising on individual Instagram pages, or you have a collaboration with another business where you all email each other's lists about the business. So just pretty basic, but that's 1 to 2 sentences on how do you get new clients or customers. And then as far as how will you use the money, 1 to 3 sentences. Hey, Felicia. And they ask you how many years you've been in business. Again, they are not looking for somebody that's been in business for umpteen years. They literally want to support individuals that are starting off, that is in need of potentially $500, that then an additional $2,500, which actually gives you a grand total of $3,000. Your average monthly revenue, you can be pre-revenue. That's an option too. So you don't have to say, you don't not apply because you're not making any money. And then how did you hear about the fellowship? My YouTube channel. So if you can put that in there, maybe they'll come back and come to the channel themselves. And that's it. So what we're going to do, we're going to quickly go to their website, which we talked about their program, which is Freed Studio. It's freedfellowship.com. And I'm going to put that in the chat. Okay, so everything that we just discussed is going to be down here. So what the grant is, the fact that they are going to is accessible source of feedback for aspiring but overlooked business owners who want their vision to be seen and heard. That is their mission statement. And then how does it work? $500, no strings attached. You don't pay the grant back. The one-on-one strategy session, which is the 30-minute consultation I discussed earlier. And then the 1 year, it's actually $500 instead of $450 or $499, but it's $1. And then eligible to receive a $2,500 grant at the end. All you have to do is you enter your first name and then your email address, and then the application is going to pop up and the questions that we went through. So name, email, phone number, business website link if you have one, your Google listing if you have that, LinkedIn or business social media. So if you don't have LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, whatever else is out there that people are using. And then the questions that we talked about. Tell us about yourself and how you believe you can contribute to the fellowship's mission of supporting underrepresented entrepreneurs. 3 to 5 sentences. Your business idea, what is it? Who do you serve? Unique way, what are your biggest challenges? 8 to 10 sentences. How do you get new clients? 1 to 2 sentences. Tell us how you use the money, 1 to 3 sentences. And then here, this is what I was talking about. How many years you have been in business. They don't care if you're new, you have an idea. They are not requiring you to be in business for a year or more. But like I said, I could not find anything that said if there was an age requirement, but I did find their email address, which is team, so TEAM, at freedfellowship.com. And I'm about to put that in the chat as well. So if you wanted to reach out to them with questions, I think this will be helpful. So there's their email address. And then, no sales, less than 1,000, 1K to 5K, 100K plus. You probably aren't going to be eligible for $500 if you're at that space. And they're saying that they're trying to reach individuals that are still trying to get their vision out there. And then how did you hear about it? My YouTube channel. Now, here's the part where I feel like you all definitely should email if you have questions, because there's an application fee. So this is the second grant in almost a year that I've been doing these where there's been an application fee. That's why I really was trying to find out if it rolls over. So if you apply in January and you pay the $19, does it just keep rolling over until you're selected? Or, maybe they'll email you and just say, hey, not this time, because otherwise you will be paying $19 every month to potentially get $500, which by the end of the year, you're giving yourself almost the grant. So I definitely wouldn't recommend that. I highly recommend sending an email after you apply. I would apply for, the first time, and then I would send that email or wait for them to email you back, because they're going to give you feedback either way. If you get selected or if you don't get selected, then that way you'll know if you need to send another $19 to apply for this grant. However, I would, at some point I would start like weighing the pros and cons of continuously applying for a grant. If you have to keep paying $19 when your first round is going to be $500 versus, if you get selected for that $2,500, then it'd be worth it to get $3,000. But I definitely would get that one question clarified. If you got anything of value, begin emailing in, like, share, comments. I'm going to see if there's any questions. Thanks, Felicia. So Felicia said that she applied for this one. She didn't get it, and she's pretty sure it doesn't roll over. That part I am not clear on, but worst case scenario, you email them and then they say, no, it doesn't roll over. But again, if that is in fact true, I would weigh your options, because 20 times 12, just so I can round up, that's almost $250. And then you're going to get $500. You could have, taken that and reinvested it into your business yourself, or, apply for some of the other grants that I've posted that do not have an application fee. But I don't have the answer, so I don't want to say for certain. But if Miss Felicia has not, received anything, I would say probably it's not rolling over. But I want you all to have a happy new year. I'm going to be posting more grant videos. We're going to do passive income. And if you're looking for grants in between time of me posting, there is a link to the Patreon that is in the description as well as the chat. And I thank everyone that has spent a little time with me on New Year's Eve to go over this grant. Talk to y'all later.